Today's Tuesday, right?
Yes, ma'am. It is the first week of the new year, so I think we are done with coming up with excuses as to not know what day it is. It was fine over Christmas, and it was definitely fine like last week, that really terrible week in between Christmas and New Year's. But now all is back to normal, and we're expected to know what day of the week it is and what time it is.
Listen here, Jordan.
Oh, boy. We don't have time for this.
I have been here, it'll be 2 weeks straight. So I'm a little off as to when my Friday is, but it's okay because you came in on your off days for this crazy weather, and I hear maybe shaking up a little bit later.
Yeah, we're going to talk about yet another opportunity for winter weather. My life just continues to be so much fun in the early days of 2022. It was a little warmer this afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Maybe to some of you it felt just a touch on the chilly end of the spectrum, but temperatures were actually pretty close to seasonal for this time of year. We finished the day in the upper 40s and lower 50s. Now, for those of you that love the snow, unfortunately, upper 40s and the lower 50s do not bode well as far as snow is concerned. A lot of that snow melted. Fantastic time lapse from the top of Montesano. You can watch a lot of that snow melt across the city of Huntsville, and then obviously from the top of Montesano. Where it's most obvious are going to be those trees. Trees had a really thick blanket of snow on them. It was a really wet, heavy snow that accumulated really quickly. Well, once those temperatures climbed, that snow was able to melt off of those trees. It was really beautiful to look at on the trees, but at the same time, did a lot of damage. I know just on my drive into work this morning, I finally got the scope of just how many trees on my drive snapped under the weight of all of that snow. We'll be a little warmer tonight compared to what we've been talking about over the last couple of nights. Temperatures only dropping into the mid and upper 30s, and that's where we'll be when the kids get on the school bus tomorrow morning. Are they still going to need to bundle up? Yeah, I think they definitely are. 37 at 7, 38 by 8, 42 degrees by the time we get to 9 o'clock. But when they head home tomorrow afternoon, I think they'll be able to leave the hat and the gloves in the book bag. Temperatures climbing once again into the upper 40s and lower 50s. Again, seasonal for this time of year. I got a high right around 52 degrees. Now, some of the usual warm spots could easily see 54 or even 55. We'll be dry tomorrow, but we are going to begin to see an increase in the amount of cloud cover. Things, however, are going to begin to become just a little more active by the time we get to Thursday. Area of low pressure and an associated warm front. How this area of low pressure and the associated warm front track is going to be really dependent on what type of precipitation we end up seeing on Thursday. If this warm front tracks a little further to the north, we'll be talking about some warmer air across the Tennessee Valley and therefore a higher likelihood that we talk about rain. If this warm front ends up staying south of the Tennessee Valley, then we're talking about a higher likelihood at seeing some frozen precipitation, sleet or freezing rain, or even a little bit of snow across the Tennessee Valley, as if we haven't already had enough this month. Here's what Futurecast looks like at 8:30 on Thursday morning. A fair mixture of all kinds of precipitation, maybe a little bit of rain, maybe a little bit of sleet, a little bit of freezing rain. This activity becomes a little more widespread as we head into the lunch hour on Thursday. We are talking about straight snow up across southern Middle Tennessee, Giles and Lincoln counties. And then north of the Tennessee River at the lunch hour on Thursday, many of us are talking about snow, maybe a little bit of frozen precipitation, sleet or freezing rain thrown into that mixture as well. Things are really funny once we get south of the Tennessee River. It's pure coincidence that the Tennessee River is kind of acting as a boundary here. But south of the Tennessee River, we'd be talking about kind of a hodgepodge, maybe a little bit of snow, but for the most part, we'd be talking about straight liquid precipitation and then some sleet and freezing rain thrown into the mix. Models have been having a really difficult time with all of this, so make sure you come back tomorrow for some more updates. 40 degrees on Thursday, 35 on Friday. Look where we start the day Friday, 17 degrees, and wind chills could drop well into the single digits. That's all I got for you this